I am almost fully recovered from feeling ill, I'd say, mostly. And I'm ready to do another video. I have the Ally of Justice deck request for you here. Ally of Justice deck request, it's quite an old one. I skipped it at the time because I just couldn't build a deck that I felt good about. I tried to make a pure Ally of Justice deck with just Ally of Justice in main deck, nothing else. Well, monsters-wise anyway. Even though that wasn't the request, it would just had to have Alive Justice as the main part of the deck. I wasn't able to. I wanted to do a pure one. I wasn't able to do it. Didn't feel good about any of the Alive Justice decks that I made. So no. This current deck that I'm using, I got it from a Yugi tuber, not my creation. Now I would give credit, and I am, but the problem is I forgot the guy's username. I wrote it down on a piece of paper, but I can't find the piece of paper. Likely 2 weeks ago during the cleanup of my room, where I also threw away a lot of papers that I didn't need anymore, likely the piece of paper went with it. So, Mr. YouTuber that made this deck for me, let me know if it's you so that I can give you credit. And they'll do like annotation or description or something, probably description, and then I'll give you credit. So, just so you know, this is not my own creation. So this deck uses a few other cards besides Ally of Justice cards. It still has Core Destroyer as one of the mains. That's still my favorite Ally of Justice. I guess artwork-wise, it is my favorite. It's just really easy to use. Catastor is just another great card. It's just amazing. Yeah. For some reason, my opening hand of 6, just like in the previous duel that I did with it, I did record that one, but it didn't make it. I also started with Core Destroyer, DNA Transplant, and Book of Moon. I just have 3 other cards next to those. But yeah, start with that. Just like in the last duel, I want them to attack into me. Upon attack declaration, play DNA Transplant. Make the opponent light. Well, mine as well, but it's important that the opponent becomes light, so that at the start of the damage step, Core Destroyer's effect activates, takes them out. So, yay. So, Core Destroyer DNA Transplant is really good. But the thing is, DNA Transplant needs to stay on the field for this deck to stay good. Now here I had Book of Moon face down. I should have just used it right as he used the effect, right as he summoned the monster before he could actually use the ignition effect. But I never thought of that at the time. I guess I've been out of Yu-Gi-Oh for a little too long, out of making videos. I'm feeling kind of, yeah, I'm not doing things properly anymore. I need to play more Yu-Gi-Oh to get back into it. But yeah, I've been playing Cardfight Vanguard quite a bit. But yeah, I did use it after the first effect. Good thing he didn't target transplant. But anyway, I did play quite a bit of Cardfight Vanguard in the last couple of days. I finally found another free PC game for Vanguard. Playing it with my friend Seb, and well, with a few randoms that I found, like just playing with. Mostly with Seb. I've made some really cool decks, and later today I plan to record a cardfight thing, so that as long as that PC program keeps working, I'm just gonna every now and then, not regular like my Yu-Gi-Oh videos, but every now and then I will be recording and narrating replays from my card fights. Maybe even some of the games with Seb. I could do that. I could do live even. I just have to figure out how the Skype recorder works because I don't remember. But if I figure that out, then we may even be able to be on Skype and then record that and then have a double narration on one of our card fights. So that'll be a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun during our card fights, like getting something I have a lot, and I'll just say this and then get back into the Yu-Gi-Oh duel. But me and Cardfight Vanguard, what I have a lot is that I drive check and damage check into nothing, and then I draw into all of my triggers. Mostly I draw into my critical triggers. Mostly. And also, if my starting hand, I don't really like to have any grade zeros in there, because I just want to have a better chance of getting a trigger later. When I do the redraw and I put at least 3 cards back on the deck, then I always get like at least 2 triggers back. It's somewhat annoying. Like I do have like a 5,000 or 10,000 shield in my hand, but I'll like drive check into them later. Come on, just give me like great 1, 2, 3, and then like in a second grade 2, and then something that else I can use, like another grade 1 or 3. Grade 1 probably. But yeah, um, lots of stuff happened in the duel. I hope we didn't get too distracted by my talking. But yeah, Dark Arm Dragon took out DNA transplants, and from that point on, it becomes a lot more difficult. Because my plan was to maybe use Ally Salvo at one point and use it with my trap card, so to contribute it to summon his big Saturn that he banished for Dark Arm Dragon's effect the first time when he destroyed Core Destroyer, and then like go over Dark Armed. But yeah, he doesn't have Dark Iron anymore. I do still have GNX Ally Dura Dark, which destroyed Dark Arm, so I feel pretty good. I attack with Dura Dark, deal some damage, very nice. I decided not to play my trap because I don't have a light monster anyway, because most of my monsters are dark, the Ally of Justice and a couple others like Dura Dark. I need to wait for DNA Transplant for it to actually work with with the trap card. But once like I do get Transplant, I can use it, so I'm now just keeping it in my hand so that he can't MST it. And he knows I have it, because he did check my hand with Deck Dev. So he also knows I have Cosmic Gateway. But after Deck Dev is done, I do believe I'm going to place it face down. I don't really know why, because I still don't have Transplant at the time, I do believe. I just do. I'm weird like that. But yeah. Draw a card, Mystical Space Open, reveal it for Deck Dev, but doesn't do anything. I immediately use it on the face down card, which happens to be some kind of different dimension thingy. Summons one banished card. Escape from the dark dimension. Summons a banished dark monster. But when dark dimension leaves the field, you destroy and banish the target. So MSC still destroys because dark dimension is still a spell or trap card, and then same result. So that just cost a few seconds that didn't need to be paid. So I attack with Dura Dark, even though like the opponent kept Deck Dev on the field to keep track of turns. I don't like that, because you could just do that in the chat, and this could make for confusion with Gores. The opponent did realize that Deck Dev doesn't belong there, which is why Gores and the effect were used. I just don't like it. If anything, if you want to keep counters, place a token like in the spell and trap zone to keep track of the turns with counters if you really want to do that, so that you don't mess up grave order, because now let's see, the Deck Dev should have been in the grave between Dark Armed and the big Saturn that was discarded for trade-in. Not that it matters most of the time, but it may matter for some cards. So yeah, I just like to do it in the chat to make it as proper as possible. Now, Dark Dark's taken out. I can use Cosmic Gateway now, because the token that comes from Gore is actually Light Fairy, which a good amount of people don't actually know, but it's Light Fairy, so you can use it for Cosmic Gateway, even if there's no DNA Transplant, because the opponent controls 2 or more monsters, and including at least 1 light monster, which is the token. So, Cosmic Gateway special summoned. I attack into the token to take it out. Gorz is still stronger, unfortunately, but you know, what do you do about it? I just play Shift face down. Maybe I can use it later. And he's just gonna attack into my monster. I can't do anything without. If Shift would have been DNA Transplant, then that would have been great, because then I would have activated Transplant upon the attack declaration. And then before we go into damage step, I'd play my other trap, tribute my then light Cosmic Gateway, and summon his big Saturn to be stronger than Gorz. And then I take him out next turn, if he doesn't have a trap to stop me, because I don't believe he ever actually reveals what he has face down there. So I don't really know. He plays Caius here, targets the new face down in case it's like a card that can stop him, like Dimensional Prison, because I didn't stop Gorz's attack with the other 2 traps that I have, so the new one was the most dangerous. Like, if it would have been Bottomless or Solemn Warning, it would have still worked on him, but he decided to take the risk of it being Solemn Warning or Bottomless Trample or Torrential that would have been able to get rid of his monster to have more of a chance to actually survive the attack. and still have him on in case it was Mirror Force, Magic Cylinder, things like that. Because Magic Cylinder would have actually taken him out. I draw into a card that I cannot use at all, so my opponent rec attacks for game. I'm gonna see you in the deck profile. Welcome to the deck profile for the Ally of Justice deck. As I said, I got this deck from another YouTuber. I unfortunately lost the name. Mr. YouTuber, if you know who you are, so let me know so I can give you credit. So this is the deck. I can't say exactly like the deck, but not because the deck sucks that badly. It's just not very good. And I just don't like Ally of Justice decks in general. I just like Core Destroy because of an easy effect. I like Catastor because it's just really good. This is among the best level 5 synchros out there. Maybe Hyper Librarian could be considered a better one, but otherwise Catastor, yeah, it's that, and then one of the new level 5s that like an Ancient Gear Golem effect. But otherwise Catastor is, at least in the top 3 of level 5 synchros. I like Gateway because it's a nice, being used as a nice special summon. I like Core Destroyer. That's really all I like about the Ally of Justice. I guess I like Decisive Armor because in World Championship 2011, Decisive Armor and Leicester's Marshmallow on the field allowed me to keep using Decisive Armor in the final duels of the main game, and just destroy my opponents. That was good. That was fun. Anyway, BLS because there's mostly darks, but I do also have White Burster and Lina, so there can be some chaos in there. 2, Belial, Marquis of Darkness can be used for trading, can be used for stuff. Cosmic Gateway can be used for like some special summonings and then some exceedings into Felgrand. Duradoc to destroy darks, but usually you just want to have DNA Transplant out to destroy lights. As you see, I've actually used this in the duel. That was fun. Most of your cards will still be darkened in the grave. They aren't changed for DNA Transplant. So Wyvern Burster will be able to summon itself. I have 2 Cyclone Creators as level 3 tuners, along with 2 Cycle Readers. Cycle Readers can banish up to 2 light monsters from the opponent's grave, and Cyclone Creator, when it's on the field, you can discard a card from your hand to return spell traps on the field equal to the to return spell traps from the field to the hand equal to the number of face-up tuner monsters on the field. And that's Creator, that's Cycle Reader, but it says tuner monsters on the field, like your field. So if the opponent happens to have a tuner on the field, like Formula Synchron or something, then that can be done for an extra card. Core Destroyer, I really like that. The main card of the deck, I would say. I do also have Light of the Light Charmer and 2 Ally Salvo. That can destroy some nice stuff, but as I said, most of these cards do require DNA Transplant on the field. There's 3 of them in a 40 card deck. There's no searchers for it, and MSD is a 3. A lot of people run it. It's really easily destroyed. So this is not a consistent deck at all. I would not take it to a big tournament. Trade in for some level 8s, Cosmic Gateway, Belial, BLS, Dark Ult to destroy, Space for back row, Book of Moon to flip face down. Could be used with Lina as well, for example. Ijiri, you do banish some stuff yourself with BLS, with White Burst Star. So you can use it with that, or just take the opponent's monsters. But once again, you mostly need DNA Transplant, unless you have Lina or White Burst Star, which I unfortunately didn't actually have in the duel. There's actually the card at the top of the deck at the end of the duel that was Wyvern Burster, but you can use it. Yeah, I couldn't exactly use Hijiri. I wanted his Big Saturn, but I was unfortunately never able to get it. Wabuku, Shift to Phoenix Chain. Phoenix Chain is still very good. I still some cases like Phoenix Chain, Breakthrough Skill, Phoenix Chain, Breakthrough Skill. Breakthrough Skill can be used twice. Phoenix Chain can be chained, MSD can be chained to it, and it doesn't work anymore. Breakthrough Skill then does, but Phoenix Chain stays on the field for multiple turns because it's a continuous trap. So that's the advantage Phoenix Chain has. So in this deck, the YouTuber put Phoenix Chain, and then of course DNA Transplant, because without this deck just sucks, and you shouldn't be playing it at all. Catastor as a Synchro, Ancient Sacred Wyvern. Problem with Wyvern is you have a level 3 tuner. The only other way to summon it. No, sorry, I was just looking at the 2 Ally Salvas. Of course, you can just use Duradoc and White Burster. Never mind. Black Rose Dragon to destroy shit. stuff. Life Justice Light Gazer. I don't really like the card, but he put it in the deck. The only way to summon it is with one of your level 3 tuners, and then like Core Destroyer, Ally Salvo, or Core Destroyer, no, Lina, Ally Salvo. So you won't get it out that often anyway. Same for Starter Spark. Decisive Armor is a level 10, so that'll probably be level 3, level 3, level 4. Then there's Levier. Can be mate with Core Destroyer with Lina, with one of the tuners. Paladin, because it's just a good card for if you have level 4 lights. Why is Shark Drake Vice in this deck? Seriously, why is Shark Drake Vice in this deck? Was there supposed to be another card on the deck that hasn't been released yet? Or that I just put this in as a proxy? I don't remember because you can't actually summon this. Huh. This must be a card that hasn't been on the that isn't on the end yet, or it's one of the new ones that was just recently released. Let's check. Let's do Monster Xyz Water, and we can probably get there. Silent Honors Arknight. It has to have been Silent Honors Arknights because that's a good card. Yeah, it fits also as well in the order. Yep, it was Silent Honors Arknight. Papule in there. Omega in there, but unless you have two Wyver bursters on the field, you need to transplant to use it. Key Beetle, you do not want DNA transplant, or you want everything to become dark, but usually just not use DNA transplant. M7 to use level 6s, but that's usually to put on top of Omega. Thunder Charger to put on top of him, and then Felgrand as a level 8, so you can use that with like Belial and BLS. That was the deck. I hope you enjoyed. Once again, unfortunately, I can't give credit or say anything about who made it. It's not my deck. That's all I can say about it. I'll give credit whenever I figure out who it was. Hope you enjoyed. I have multiple videos planned for today and tomorrow. I hope you're gonna enjoy them all. See you later.